Hollywood's golden age dazzled the world, but behind the lights and glamour, darkness often thrived. Ron Howard, a filmmaker known for calmness and dignity, recalls how some of the industry's most celebrated stars hid cruelty, chaos, and unchecked egos. Fame acted like a shield, protecting misbehavior and silencing victims. Howard's reflections reveal that legendary talent didn't always equate to morality. These stories aren't gossip, they're lessons about power, responsibility, and the human cost of entertainment. Errol Flynn, the devil behind the smile. Errol Flynn charmed audiences as the fearless adventurer of the 1930s and 40s. Off-screen, however, he was reckless, ego-driven, and often destructive. Flynn faced legal charges in 1942 involving two young women but laughed them off, shielded by powerful studios. Private letters later revealed his bragging about abusive behavior. Howard points out that Flynn's story illustrates Hollywood's tendency to protect charisma over morality. Fame didn't just hide his flaws, it enabled them, leaving a trail of personal and professional devastation behind him. Kirk Douglas, the man who couldn't stop fighting. Kirk Douglas was a powerhouse, on screen and off. While he portrayed courage and justice, those who worked with him remembered his volatile temper and relentless control. Crew and co-stars described constant tension, fear, and intimidation. Howard observed that Douglas's rage reflected a deeper truth about power. When left unchecked, it can dominate and destroy. Even decades later, the industry's admiration clashed with personal accounts, emphasizing that the golden age rewarded dominance, often at the expense of empathy and fairness. Faye Dunaway, the queen of cruelty. Faye Dunaway ruled sets with icy precision. Her pursuit of perfection often turned to humiliation, tantrums, and emotional control over co-stars and crew. Howard highlights that her cold behavior exemplified a subtler, yet pervasive toxicity, power wielded without compassion. Over time, her once dominant presence led to isolation, avoided by directors and colleagues. Dunaway's career trajectory shows that talent alone can't sustain respect. Hollywood may celebrate skill, but Howard warns that when empathy is absent, brilliance becomes destructive. John Wayne, the tyrant of the West. John Wayne's rugged heroism concealed a bully's heart. On set, he ruled through intimidation, belittling women and minority actors. Publicly, he promoted a rigid worldview, resisting progress and dissent. Howard recalls the shock of separating myth from reality. The cowboy legend hid prejudice and cruelty behind fame. Wayne's story demonstrates how societal reverence can perpetuate harmful behavior. His legacy warns that admiration without accountability can normalize bias and fear, leaving the industry complicit in sustaining toxic icons. Roman Polanski, the exile of shame. Roman Polanski's genius masked a dark truth. Arrested for unlawful conduct with a minor in 1977, he fled the U.S., continuing a celebrated career abroad. Howard condemns the industry's willingness to separate talent from accountability. Polanski's awards and acclaim contrasted sharply with the harm he caused, making him a symbol of Hollywood's moral failure. His story demonstrates that brilliance doesn't absolve wrongdoing, and society's delayed justice often favors reputation over victims' suffering. Mickey Rooney, the smile that lied. Mickey Rooney dazzled audiences but hid a troubled personal life. Exploited as a child star, his adult years were marked by failed marriages, addiction, and emotional damage inflicted on others. Howard notes that Rooney's grin masked deep pain, creating chaos for those around him. His decline highlights how Hollywood's pressure can warp personality, turning charm into manipulation. Rooney's life shows the tragic human toll behind entertainment's brightest faces, revealing the hidden cost of fame in a system built on illusion.